What's up, everybody? It is just about 10 p.m. here. I just got home from my run and I am sitting down here getting ready to chow down on some dinner, which is mashed potatoes and chicken breast. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about tonight. Tonight I'm going to talk to you about something a little bit more on the real side of Ironman triathlon training. So today was a very long day at work. Got the day started around 6 a.m. And worked pretty much straight through to 7 p.m. today. So today was really not the day that anyone would want to do a long run, let alone an interval session, which I had today. Today I had to do 10 miles, where 5 of those miles were done at my threshold pace, so holding around a 7:20. The goal was below 7:30, and I pretty much held 7:20 for each of those 5 intervals, with 800 meters of recovery jog in between each mile. So it was, a hell of a workout. And I'll be completely honest, I was not looking forward to it in any way the second I saw it on my training plan for the day. And this is pretty much consistent with how I would expect to feel at this stage of training. I am just about 2 months away from race day, and volume right now has been gradually increasing and is now at the point where I would consider it fairly significant. I think my total weekly volume between swim, bike, and run is around 180 something miles a week. And that's a lot. And the point of this video is you're not always gonna be in the mood to hit your workout. You're not always going to be feeling your best. You'll likely always have some part of your body that kind of hurts or kind of isn't feeling just right, or your energy levels are messed up. And I just want people watching to know that that's completely normal. I was joking with one of the people I'm coaching, Tom. If you have watched some of my older videos, where I mentioned when I first got Tom on as a client, I was talking to him and kind of joking around because I like to get good weekly, almost like bi-daily check-ins with him to see how the volume is impacting his body and his mood and so on and so forth. And he said something to me today along the lines of was definitely not feeling it yesterday and not excited to get his miles in because yesterday I had him do a long run. And I was like, yeah, that's completely normal. I actually feel I can predictably say which days of the week I am going to be much more of a baby and much more complaining, just based on what I know my typical training week looks like. So Monday, typically today's not like the super complainy day, but honestly by Friday, Thursday and Friday, I am typically a huge baby and would pretty much say that everything is wrong and I am not feeling that good in this training block. And then after a few days of not recovery but lower intensity workouts where my body starts to recover a little bit, I'll say this training block is great and I've been progressing and I feel stronger than I felt last year, and I've been noticing gains throughout the months of training. So don't look at your progress and your mood too much on the micro, and just, to drive this point home a little bit further, I finished up my last call for the day, like I said, around 7 p.m. And I knew that today's workout was going to be, between the warm-up, the striders to, further warm up and get ready for the high speed today. And then the intervals, I knew that today was going to take some time and it was going to be tough and take a lot of energy out of me. But, instead of dwelling on that and just thinking about it too much, as soon as I finished that call at 7 o'clock, I just immediately got changed, put my running shoes on, tied them on, and I was texting somebody, and I just immediately said, all right, gotta go, and put my phone on the table because I don't typically bring my phone on me for runs. Got out the door and I just started, because just getting out the door is typically not the worst part of the workout, but definitely mentally starting is the hardest part, just because that time that you're just sitting stagnant and minutes fly by, and then it's been 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, that's really where you start to screw yourself over, and put yourself in a bad position with your scheduling. So if I could say anything, it's despite how you feel, despite being tired, being sore, anticipating a very hard workout, just don't even think about it. Don't even allow yourself the time to negotiate with yourself and say, well, 5 more minutes, or maybe I should drink some water first, or maybe I should do a nice and slow, stretch, warm up. Just don't negotiate. Get your shoes on and just start jogging. Get out there. So now, moving past that, moving past this whole, mindset portion of knowing that there are days that you're not going to feel great. You're going to have a long work day. You're going to be tired. You're going to have some pains, and knowing that in your mind, the best mindset to adopt, especially for Ironman, especially for endurance, is to just get up, get started, get up and go. I think I was watching Cam Hanes, and he was talking about his latest adventure, latest race at Cocodona 250, which is really, I guess, 257. He was saying that in endurance, there's an expression called beware of the chair. And that's because, sometimes if you allow yourself to lose momentum and lose that forward moving mentality, and you let yourself settle, you could sit in the chair and you can basically just get stuck there in the chair. So don't do that. Just get moving, move forward, and get those workouts in. So that's it for today's video. If you like this, please subscribe, and happy training.